everyone, it's Chris, MTGO's RexDart, and you're here in round 5 of the Classic Quarter Invitational. I am on the draw against Fishy Fellow, who is playing Show and Tell. I consider that a bad matchup for me, mostly because I'm about 0 in a billion lifetime against Show and Tell, no matter what deck I'm playing with. You could give me the 10 Time Twister, 29 Black Lotus, 1 Fireball deck, and I would find a way to lose with that. But this hand, the trouble with this hand is, yeah, okay, it has a force, and I mean, I guess I could force a Baleful Strix. I'm probably going to need Baleful Strix to draw into more mana at some point anyways. Like, what does this hand actually do? It tinkers. I'm going to have to draw into some mana and be on the tinker plan, but old Blightsteel Colossus here is in the hand. Now, I know he's got see, Emrakul, Grizzlebrand, his own Blightsteel. What does he have that can get rid of? He doesn't have a lot that can get rid of. He has Daze and Force to counter. Yeah, I think I'm going to pitch this. This hand here, what does this have? A Lotus Petal and an Academy that taps for 1. And then, that hand's pretty terrible too. I don't know. I'm going to have to hope he has a slow hand. Maybe I draw into something, but I don't really want to mold a 5 here. He's got a Trop and nothing else. Now let's hope for a little bit of action. No, he's going second main. You know. Nope. Okay. He has mana drains or anything. Demonic Tutor. Well, that's interesting. Let's think about that. What could I Demonic Tutor for here? Pull up my deck list. Where are you? There we go. Let's see. What's going to win me the game? Or keep me in at the best. Well, I'm got a turn 1 land, Lotus Petal. I mean, I can tap this, sack this. I can cast Demonic Tutor on turn 1. But that's not really getting me anywhere. I think I just want to play this out for now. And just kind of see where we go here. Again, I could tutor for Force of Will right now. And just plan on having that as backup against the Show and Tell. I'm not sure if he'll go for it just yet, though. And play the Voltaic Key. And I guess next turn, let's see if I run out Engineered Explosives and a land. Is he stuck on 1 land? No, he is. Okay, what could he have kept where he had only 1 land? Just curious. Ancient Tomb. All right, so let's see. If I play an Ancient Tomb, and then I just run out the explosives, I'm at 3 artifacts. That's 5 mana. That's enough to Demonic Tutor for Time Vault, cast it, and activate it. So I think that's the way to go here. Let's see if I'm doing that math right. X equals 0. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so this is going to tap for 3. All right. Tap that for 3. That for black. Demonic Tutor. All right. For Time Vault. And then we will, I'm going to spend, it doesn't really matter, but I'll spend Time Vault. Maybe make him think I have a Spell Pierce. Of course, he's going to surely counter this anyways. If he has one, he's going to have to have Force because I can play around days here. Okay, he does have a Force Will. Exile and Show and Tell. Alright, you've got it, sir. Okay. Now, I don't know if he has a second Show and Tell, or if that was maybe the only blue card in his hand, but I can't imagine. He's still stuck on one land, so I get a little time to try to play out of this. And I have my own Force. I think since I drew that, do I want to play out the Baleful Strix here? Or do I want to keep my Force backup? I think I want to keep my Force backup for now. I can't sit around here forever because he's going to draw out of this. But the only thing I would draw into that would very quickly win the game, I suppose, would be Tezzeret. Alright, now he's at 2. Okay. Does he running? He's not running any wasteland effects. I'll leave the shuffle in case I draw a Brainstorm. Diabolic Edict. Alright. Well, that's good. Not if he has Grizzlebrand. It's pretty good if he has Emrakul. Another island. I'll run it out there. May end up being able to hard cast something crazy at some point here. Vampiric Tutor. What's he likely to get? He could Vamp Tutor for a land just to be able to cast something. More likely, he's Vamp Tutoring either for Grizzlebrand if he has Show and Tell in hand, but then why wouldn't he have played a land last turn? Well, the land is the only thing I can't counter. I mean, I'm going to let this go. Fishy fellow taking a little bit of time there on that Vamp Tutor. Comes up with something he likes. Draws it, and let's see what he has. Okay, he's got a Lotus Petal. Okay, and here he's going to Show and Tell. Now I can 1, 2, 3. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then I can't. Yeah. Okay. All right, he does not have a Force back. My own Lotus Petal. See what he has here. Now I know he's running Channel, so it could be. I mean, I think I have to counter that either way. I don't think I can sit back and just go, okay, well, we'll wait and save that for the Channel, because if he had Grizzlebrand, I'm not beating that anyways. Yeah, okay, he does. So let's see if he has the 15 necessary mana. And he does. Wait for him to actually cast it. Okay. All right, so no surprise there. Losing that one. Expected entirely. That's going to be dead. What is he bringing in? Like he could bring in like. I mean, he knows I'm on Tezzeret. Does he care enough to bring in Pithing Needle? I doubt it. Hercule's Recall. I wouldn't be surprised if we brought in some of that stuff. I'll put in the Cursed Totem. And do I want the... He does not have any creature removal that's going to exile. I guess he could bounce a... Trying to see if it's worth bringing in like the Battle Sphere here, but really this is for matches where they're playing like Swords of Plowshares and stuff. Okay. Still like Diabolic Edict. Still like Hercule's Recall, I guess. Or do I? Like against... I mean, it stops Blightsteel, Tinker for Blightsteel. That's about it. Do I really like that much? What else do I have that's more dead? Okay, I'll just cut one here. Do I want to cut the Hercules? Or do I want to cut... Yeah, we'll cut that. Or do I want to leave that Nihil Spellbomb in just to cycle and dig, or have another cheap artifact? Yeah, I'll probably keep that in. Alright. Alright, well, I get to be on play this game. Well, I will keep it. And he has no wastelands. So I'm free to lead on Underground Sea. I mean, if he has a turn one, whatever, then I'm in pretty dire straits here. Problem with this deck against something like Show and Tell, yeah, which really isn't what I was building for here. I was targeting more against Oath and some of those Pyromancer decks and things that I was seeing. His deck, I can't put enough pressure on that deck. If I have a quick combo, then I do, but otherwise I can't put enough pressure on that deck, and he just is going to get there before I can possibly get there. All right, we're going to run this out there because I may, in a pinch, have to brainstorm desperately looking for a force. This misses the chance that we're going to be able to library, but I'm not thinking that's going to happen anyways. Talisman. Okay. Well, if I run out Talisman and he counters it, then I'm not going to be able to brainstorm or anything in response to what he's doing. But I think that I'm just going to do that anyways. I got to get some action going here, and then that way I can tinker it next turn. And maybe I'll draw a Spell Pierce and have some backup or something. He's end of turn. Maybe he's thinking about brainstorming end of turn here. And he'll go for it. All right. Yeah, what I liked about this deck was, being able to have Tezzeret being a non-creature win con, having a lot of artifacts that I thought would have been good against shops, for instance. But it's clearly not as good against combo like this. Alright, well, he can't cast Channel. If he has a Lotus Petal, he can go for a Show and Tell here. He's going to main phase a Brainstorm. He's looking to hit something else. Ancient Tomb. Okay. Well, let's see. If I'm going to go for Tinker this turn, I would want to run out the Ancient Tomb. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. That'll give me 5 mana. I could Tinker, and that still lets me play around Days. Well, does it matter here? Or am I going to want that extra blue? Well, that gives me a blue at need. Well, but I'd have to float it when I was doing this because I'm sacrificing the dang thing. Do I want to go for it now? The question here is, if I go for Blightsteel, what could he? It'd be 5. Then I only have the 1 blue, and I'm getting this up. So I need to float an extra blue before I would Tinker. Or I can cast the Tinker with the Tomb and the Talisman, and that leaves me a blue and a colorless left. It's enough to brainstorm and dig for like a Force Will, but that's about it. What is his other counter magic here that you might have brought in from the board? Flusterstorm. It's fine. Misdirection isn't going to do anything. You could have that Steel Sabotage in there to bounce the thing. Mental Misstep. No. No, he doesn't have a lot. He doesn't have Spell Pierce. So really, I'm just talking about Force Will, or does he have Flusterstorm? I think we're going to go ahead and, well, he could go off next turn. Let's, I think I'm still okay if I go for it here and it doesn't work out. I mean, I have as many outs as I have if I just do nothing. So again, that's not why I'm not a natural control player here. All right, well, that resolves. So I assume I'm going for the win of Blightsteel Colossus because he has way too many other ways to beat me if I try to go for something and just hate him out here. So we'll go for the Blightsteel, and then we will see whether he has an answer in hand or not. I do not want to see him tapping that for a Steel Sabotage. Okay, he didn't. Now I'm thinking he has a show and tell here, otherwise he would have been, I don't know, trying to tutor for some kind of answer card to Blightsteel, which is otherwise just going to beat him. He's going to hard cast an Elvish Spirit Guide. Well, that does keep him alive for a turn. Can't fault him there. Let's brainstorm in response. He could misstep that. And he does. He did keep those in. Okay. All right. Well, that's going to buy him a turn. If I don't have some sort of removal for Elvish Spirit Guide. Force of Will, so I would have had that. Okay. Let's run out the island. Alright, so he's got one more turn here. And I have Force and Strix in hand. So he's going to have to be able to go off and have a Force back up. Alright, so there's his show and tell. There's my Force. And does he have Force back? He does not. Alright, so that'll be game 2. Alright, so on the draw here, still think everything here was fine. I mean, again, some of these big planeswalkers are just way too slow. They're not meant to play against his kind of deck exactly, but again, that is what it is. Again, I still have the option here that I could board out that Nihil Spellbomb, put that Hercule's Recall back in just to, on the off chance he tinkers for Blightsteel. At least that's an answer. It's terrible if it gets misdirected, but it's an answer. But I don't know. I still feel like having the cheap artifact for my own Tinker plan is going to be more relevant. That could be wrong, but there it is. Let's just go ahead and stick with what we got. All right, so he's on the play. Let's see. So here I've got not much. Well, I can lead on Seed of the Synod, and then I have Spell Pierce available with Force of Will back up for Brainstorm. So I got that going on. Then turn 2, I could play the Academy, and that at least is worth a blue because of the Seed of the Synod there. Not enough to tinker just yet, but I am on the draw. I might draw into something. I'm going to keep this. The hand's not bad. Alright, so Polluted Delta does not fetch. Alright, more black spells I can't cast. Alright, so play Seat. Now, of course, he does have some goofy options here, like destroying it with Artifact Destruction or something like that. Okay, he's not doing any of that. I have been fortunate in all 3 of these games to have combo pieces in hand, for whatever that's worth. Obviously, going for it in game 1 did not work out super well, but all right. Love to draw like a Lotus Petal or something here. Get me a little bit of mana off that Academy. At least it is worth 1 at the moment. Okay, he's at 4 mana. He doesn't play Spell Pierce, so I think he's just not playing to play not into my Spell Pierce. I'm going to end a turn Brainstorm here. So I want to save some mana for next turn. Alright, so I want the fetch for black, or do I just want Ancient Tomb and go for it with Spell Pierce backup? Maybe I do. Alright, so here's the options. I can Ancient Tomb, tap the Ancient Tomb and the Seat to Tinker. Now, the issue there is I'm going to have, if I go for that, I'm going to have to float the blue from Tolarian Academy in order to be able to Spell Pierce anything, if I go for that. Before I do it, just in case he counters, and then the Academy isn't going to get me anywhere. Alternatively, I can bide time. I have a hand here that has a fair bit of counter magic. And I've got Brainstorm, a fetch land. I could have a lot of action here. He doesn't seem to have it, or he's trying to react to me having it. I don't know. And if I blow this Tinker and he has an answer, then next turn I'm in a little more dire straits because this Academy isn't going to be tapping for any mana, and then I'm down to just colorless. Under those circumstances, I think I'm going to hold off. Next turn, I can theoretically play around both with the Ancient Tomb out. I can play around more counter magic if he does have Flusterstorm and Daze if he's still on that. I would guess he keeps that in, even though, I mean, I do have a lot of somewhat expensive spells that would be good against. Jaces and Tezzerets. Alright, so still nothing from him. Do I want to shuffle away that Baleful Strix or not? It's not going to do much against any of the monsters that he can field. It keeps a Grizzlebrand, but that's about it at bay, but that's about it. We're going to shuffle that away. We'll get a C. Okay. Chase, huh? Alright, well that's something to do if I want to tap out for it. So I go blue, blue, and 2 Jace, and then I have Spell Pierce backup and still Force backup there. That's alright. 2, 3, 4 Jace. Let's see, maybe he'll counter this. It is pretty good against, I guess, a Show and Telled Emrakul. He's got fetches out, no point plus 2ing him. Let's Brainstorm, see what we got. Talisman, Key, Spell Pierce. Alright. Okay. So I have to wonder at this point what exactly his hand was. Alright, he's going to Mystical Tutor. So likely he's going to have some... okay, he's going to go for Channel here. Now I cannot counter an Emrakul. Therefore I have to try to force the channel. With, what do I want to get rid of at this point? The Brainstorm, what am I most likely to cast here? He can get around Spell Pierce. So am I more likely to be I'm not going to cast both of them this turn. He mysticaled 4 channel. Misdirection. Okay. Well, I can't. So at this point, I have to Brainstorm in response and hope to hit a Force of Will. Okay, he had an Echoing Truth, so that would have taken care of Blightsteel if I had gone for it. So I think holding off was probably the right play, but now tapping down for Jace may not have been. Daze! Alright. Well, assuming he has an Emrakul in hand, that should be game. And I will go to 0 and 101 lifetime against Show and Tell. The ongoing bane of my existence. So, oh, he might be hard casting a Grizzlebrand here, which is interesting if true. Unfortunately, that puts him so far ahead of me, even if... No, he would need 4 black. That can't be what he's doing. He's just going to... Yeah, and then hard cast his Emrakul there, which I won't have the answer for. And that's it. Well, thank you for joining me. A very disappointing outing with the deck that likely I will not play again. It seemed like a good call for the metagame, but I just hit a lot of decks that it was miserable against, and I thought that it was doing something proactive enough to be worth doing, and I had some proactive stuff to do, but it just didn't get there, so call it a failed experiment, I suppose, and we'll be back onto something else for the next qualifier. So anyways, thanks for joining me.